Hi, my name is Daniel Fernandez. I'm the editor of dsf.my. That stands for Daniel Sherman Fernandez.my. It's a motoring portal, it's a news portal, it's a car portal, it's anything to do with automotive. We test drive cars, share car news, you name it, we've been doing it. Now, we've been in the business for 23 years. So we know what we're talking about. This is a 1981 Golf Cabriolet. Some will call it a GTI, some will say no, it's not a GTI, but actually it's a GTI because it's got a 1.6 fuel injected engine. It's got the first GTI engine which was shared in the hardtop version. This is a soft top version. So what drew me to this car? The story is quite long. I was a student overseas. I couldn't afford a car, but when I saw it on the road, I saw the GTI, and the GTI sort of caught my attention. And in Europe, in UK, you have a lot of GTIs. They love the GTIs there. So as you see more and more on the road, you get attracted to it. But what really pulled me into the GTI world was when the Mark II GTI came out. This is the Mk1, version 1. The Mark II, when it came out, it just so happened one of my classmates who had enough money bought one. And when he let me drive it, I was sold. I was bought. I was sucked in. That car vacuumed me in like a vacuum cleaner into the whole world of being GTI, and I loved it. I simply loved it, but I couldn't afford it. So I said to myself, I'll come back and one day I will own a Golf GTI. First memory of this car is this. When I got the keys, a simple key, no alarm, no battery, just a key. When I saw this key, I knew that my life has been elevated. I've arrived. I've gotten myself a GTI finally. My favorite moment with this car will be the day I got the keys, like I said earlier, put the key in, I started the car, I heard the GTI sound. The GTI sound is very distinctive. The moment you start a GTI, it's got the GTI sound, and the GTI sound stayed for many years with the Golf. And that is the moment that I'll say is my favorite moment. My very first drive, to be honest, I'm an old man, I can't remember my first drive. I had this car for more than 20 years. But I remember this, every drive is a memory. Why? Because whenever I drive this car, people are nearly always riding past me, whether they're on a motorbike, doing the thumbs up, or honking me, people taking out a camera or a phone and taking a picture. Because you hardly see this car on the road. There's only a handful on this road. And I can proudly say, there's only a handful that look as original as mine, and as lovely as mine. My favorite things about this car, few things. Number one, it's so simple to maintain. A lot of people look at this car and say, oh, you must be having a headache maintaining it. It's not a headache at all. Because why? It's such a simple engine. The people at Wolfsburg, when they developed this engine, and this engine was used across the board for a long time, you must understand 380,000 units of this car was sold, and none of them have any problems. Number two, zero loan. I don't have any monthly payments on this car, so it's great. Number three, it's economical, yet it's so fun to drive. It may not be the fastest car on the road, but it's the most fun to drive on the road. 5 decades, 50 years of being popular, very simple. The people at Wolfsburg, the people at Volkswagen, the product planners, the engineers and all did one thing right. They kept drive dynamics at its best. Volkswagen built the Golf for driving pleasure, not for commuting. Not for going to the supermarket. You can go to the supermarket. Not for going to send the kids to school. Yes, you can send the kids to school. But for you to drive with a smile on your face. That is why 50 years, there'll be another 50 years easily.
Volkswagen.